Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm not teaching. I'm going to do a little ranting, and it's about something that I saw today that was just the stupidest thing. Now I told you I'm not I'm not really ultrally political. I don't really sit on a huge Democratic or conservative side. I like to think of myself as being moderate. And depending on the circumstance or the issue is where I have my opinions. But this really bugged me, and I'm going to. I live in a town that is built on the hotel industry. And there's been a whole hoopla and thing. One of the shelters here came down with corona. One person tested positive, they panicked, they shut down the shelter. Now, this is a problem. Where are we going to put our homeless if the shelters, during this, if the shelters are shut? And then that got me thinking. We've got an entire strip filled with enormous hotels sitting empty. And the powers that be are talking about putting the homeless, now get this, and because I don't, maybe somebody can explain this to me, talking about putting the homeless in tents in parking lots. Okay, now, mind you, I'm never going to be president. I don't have the political brains for most of the issues to really voice huge opinions and talk in depth. But I can say this. Why the heck are we not using the hotels? And this is going across the board everywhere. If hotels are shut and each room, and now we have thousands of rooms here in Las Vegas, we have 450 cases of corona that are documented. One hotel would have house these patients. Now I could see, there being a logistics problem with the oxygen and the equipment, et cetera, et cetera. So why not put the cases that are not symptomatic, the ones that they're saying to stay out in the public, why aren't we putting them in the hotels? They're beautiful, they're comfortable, they're private, each one has a bathroom, you don't have to mix with each other, and that would take some of these infected people out of the population and into a much more secure setting. Now, I'm not talking about herding them into big wards and stuff like that where there's multiple people and people in hallways on stretchers. I'm talking about the ones that are walking around and with mild symptoms. Stick them in these hotels. Tell them to stay put. And feed them. That's basically all we need. Food, water, and shelter. That's it. They already have cable. They already have internet, Wi-Fi. There is no reason in the world we can't be doing this. And we're putting people in tents, sitting in parking lots. It's not warm out yet. These people are cold, their immunity is low, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of they're panhandlers. They get their food right now from shelters and food places that are staying open because they need to feed this population. Well, there's kitchens in the hotels. There is no reason that they can't cook far away from the patients that are positive. The hotel kitchens are not even on the same floors as the rooms. You can't get any further. And it's much, I would imagine it's much safer than having these shelters or these food places have the kitchen just a couple of feet away from the dining rooms. I just don't get it. I am mind boggled that we could be in a national emergency and we've just state emergency and the government cannot take over some of these hotels, lease them out, do something with them. Now, maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe there's some reason that they can't do this. But to me, it seems like a win-win situation that they're actually exploring tents instead of rooms where these people could stay safe, they could be clean, they could take a shower every day, they can not congregate with each other. They could be said, if you're going to stay here, you stay in your rooms, you don't have the liberty to come and go. Where do they think these people are going at night? And sleeping at night. The shelters aren't private, they're big open rooms with beds, bunk beds. I would imagine staying with maybe one other person in the room is being a lot safer. Maybe even test them before they go in. I don't know. There has to be better minds than mine thinking of these things. But it's been bugging me all day about that. Ever since I saw it, that why are we being so freaking greedy? Oh, the hotels make plenty of money. Oh, they're losing X amount of money. Well, you know what? You're going to lose a lot more money if we don't get a handle on this. Now, Las Vegas isn't doing bad. This is sand, just to let you know the color I'm using. I'm going to lighten it up with some white. But am I wrong? Is there some logical reason out there that they can't do this? I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting stir-fried in my house and grumpy. But to me, it seems that we have the answers. Hospitals. Why can't we take over our hotel? They're talking about building this and building that, and we have buildings that are completely empty. Empty. Why aren't we using them? Why do we need to build and bring people in to build that risk catching things and being around other people? Why are we doing that when we've already got a major resource here? The hospitals can not be overrun, like the smaller things that don't require major equipment, maybe meds, IVs, nothing resuscitated, lower medical, nothing that's too high tech. And that's where they could be. I mean, I can't imagine in a medical situation having multiple people in an emergency room is better than sticking them in a private hotel room. You know, God forbid, you know, somebody gonna steal an ashtray? I mean, come on. You know, I like the governor. I think he's doing a good job for what is going on. He's definitely on top of, you know, shutting the town down. I wish it was a little stricter. But, you know, I think today we're up to, in the state, we're up to like a little bit over 500 people and that are tested positive and 10 deaths, which honestly is too many deaths. But compared to what's going on in New York, I'm not complaining. But you see where I'm going with that? And it's annoying the heck out of me. Just seems greedy to me. So now I'm using a little bit of sienna on here. Now there was another thing, one of my subscribers, Dan, asked me about negative space and what I would consider negative space on here, because it does have the black. This sort of has two negative space, and I wanted to explain what negative space was. Negative space is whatever's in the background. Now, it doesn't have to be blank. Negative space does not have to be blank. You can have trees, you can have anything that doesn't distract from the main picture. Like, so this this negative space, this could be negative space too, and then this is the focal point. How I'm going to handle this, I'm not 100% sure yet, because I'm really not intending on doing this background yet. I want to finish her up, and then I'm going to save this background for when I come up with something good. It hasn't hit me yet. So I'm going to be finishing her, and her skin, I've made some decisions about her skin and what I'm going to do with that. I'm thinking dark, because I had a request for doing dark skin during my 30-day lockup, and I like that idea. She could definitely pass for dark skin ethnic person, so it's not that odd. She reminds me of maybe somebody who's Indian, especially with the colors, the jeweled colors that I have chosen, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And as far as her hair goes, if I'm going to do the dark skin, I'm going to do black hair. I was going to do really dark brown, but I think I'm going to demo some black hair on her. I just think it's... Now, how I'm going to handle that? Well, because this is black and this is black, so I'd be doing black on black. But you could... Well, I'm not gonna give it away, because it's kind of cool. So I'm not going to give it away what I'm going to do. Yeah, why not? I'm going to do a reverse. This is going to be all black, but I'm going to do it in white. And I think I'm going to do it in black, gray, blue, indigo blue, and then define the clumps using Posca. Really cool trick. So that's what I'm going to do. I didn't do much today. I talked with my friend Olivia. I texted with a few people. And then I watched Picard. Does anybody here watch Star Trek? Oh my God. The end of Picard I saw today. Holy mackerel. I think it was the best Star Trek ever. Of any season. Sorry, I'm drinking. Not alcohol, apple juice. I think it was absolutely the best Star Trek ending. And if you haven't seen it, bring tissues, because it's a tearjerker. I cried. It was so good. And now I get to look forward to Discovery coming whenever it releases. They were supposed to start with the second season of Picard filming in April, and now that's put off, which means the second season of Picard isn't going to be for a long time. He's getting up there in age, and they did something smart. They didn't end on a cliffhanger. They sort of ended it like it was like a season ending, even though it's gonna have another season next season. They kind of ended it that way. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't watched it yet. But they did a really, really good job. So many tears from me. I love sci-fi. I fought my husband our entire marriage. I don't watch sci-fi, it's boring, blah, 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 blah. Finally, because my daughter married a sci-fi person and has love for sci-fi too, the whole family started watching stuff, and I didn't want to be the only one out there in the not knowing what they're talking about and laughing at the table, ha ha ha, and there's me not knowing. That's when I started watching Doctor Who, and I loved it. Oh my God, I got so hooked on it. And my husband said to me, well, if you like Doctor Who as much as you did, why don't you try Star Trek? I've been trying and trying and trying for years and years to get you to watch it. And we started with Deep Space Nine. And oh my God, I love that show. And so now we're watching, not Voyager, the one with Picard, that season. And that series. Totally, I think I'm up to the fourth season. And I drive my husband crazy every day. Could we watch one? Could we watch one? He's like, yeah. It's like my treat. It's my escape. Getting into a series. And I don't think about it for a whole hour, what's going on. And it's nice. Really, really nice. So this is just sand white and sienna brown. I'll darken that up when I get everything on the page. When I'm working like this, another hint, I don't normally do my upper layers until everything is done on the page. My upper layers, because that's when I tweak my lights and darks at the very end. So I've got a couple of people who asked me to review some pictures of theirs. That video is coming with critiques video. Critiques are actually the best things that you could watch when it comes to learning. Because sometimes it's not what you do, is you don't see what can be done. And when you see it on somebody else's picture, it's a little bit easier than when you're seeing it on your own and you're like blinded by your own picture. So if you really want to learn art, and that's why in art school they always do critiques. That drove my daughter crazy. She hated it. Oh my God, she hated critique when the teacher did public critiques, which was like all the time. Because, I mean, they point out the good things that you do, but they also point out where you could have gotten better. But I always found that you learn. I mean, I've had people, say, oh, you could have done it this way, you could have done it this way. And it's like, oh, you know what? You're right. I didn't see it at the beginning. But now I do, and then you can either fix it or do the next one and understand and learn from it. Got to give yourself permission to learn. That's my advice for the day, is give yourself permission to make mistakes. Not every picture is going to be a masterpiece. Not every picture is going to be something you want to hang up on your refrigerator. Sometimes you just got to go, okay, well, let me learn something. And I do that with all the techniques. You guys don't see the pictures behind the scenes, but like, here's one of a couple that I have working out colors on another page, and then I transfer it here. So by the time I'm doing it on here, I've already done it like 2 or 3 times. When I was doing that copper picture, oh my God, I had the same picture all over my art room. Like, I had to figure out at the end which ones were the ones that I wanted to use, because copper could be done in so many different ways. I wanted to figure out what way I liked it the best. I mean, honestly, I could figure out this color scheme 5 different ways and use 5 different pencils. This is just this one way. It doesn't mean it's law. So what I think I'm going to do with this is I'm going to wait until the end. And I'm seeing a little darker moons. A little bit. But I don't want to go that dark. Now I'm repeating myself. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. Thank you for listening to my rant. And I love you guys. If you need me, you know how to get me. In the description box is my email address. Just send me an email, and I will give you my phone number, and you can text me anytime. Don't even have to worry about me sleeping, because I just answer you when I can answer you. So text me day or night. Doesn't bother me. Take care. Bye-bye.